My loves, this is how we transcend the game. Your consciousness is the game changer. When I look at the world, when I look at Black culture and history, and I've sat with this, I've been sitting with this since 2020. And I energetically looked at the entire play out, right? For centuries. And everything that I know it deep in my being, like this is just deep, deep in my soul. That the game changer is when we change our consciousness as a culture, as a people. Because when I think about slavery, and most people know about this, that the bulk of it has been done psychically, mentally. It's a very strategic play. It's not only the things that we can see outside, which means killings or beatings, or where we're seeing the flesh and we're seeing people being jailed and assassinated. Like those are very outward expressions of hate and disparity and injustice. But the quiet, the subtle, and the more powerful is the subtle implants that has been implanted within our psyches, within our culture, within our DNA and our bloodline. And what has happened in 2020, it was so powerful. And then I seen what came out of it was such well-intended initiatives. And I'm not saying that they're bad or wrong or anything. I'm just expanding the conversation. That's exactly what I'm doing. Where there has to be the level of consciousness and awareness to how we lead our activism, how we lead our lives, what we feed our children. And feeding our children that they are privileged and that they are not powerful is continuing the work. And I don't mean to trigger anybody. If I am triggering you, just be with me, walk with me. Because that's definitely not my intent, but understand that I get triggered when I see all these subtleties and all these powerful plays of keeping us in a cycle and in a mindset that we are less, that we are underprivileged, that we can't get up, that we have to continue to fight, that we have to live in exhaustion when I know that we do not. And that my invitation in this conversation and planting these seeds of light and new awareness is, yeah, there's gonna be some moments where you have to show up in a certain way. You might have to be active in something, but throughout that journey, you got to know like you know, like you know. I don't know if y'all know Lisa Nichols, but she always says that, and she just came into my field right then. Who you are. Can nobody touch that? It's, you know how they always say, get an education, right? Because no one can take it from you. Come to know yourself as the powerful being that you are. Come to know yourself as source in a body. Come to know yourself as an aspect of God and all that there is, and walk through the world like that. And then drop into your identity, your gender, your race, your culture, your ethnicity, your values, your views. That's the game changer. No matter what happens, no matter what is said, when you know who you are in your power. And you can see something happen like, okay, I seen something unfair just happen. That probably happened because that person was white. However, it doesn't stop my flow. This is one isolated incident, or not isolated, but it still doesn't stop my flow, right? My trajectory, right? It's about focus. It's about focus. It's about knowing that you're gonna see things that's gonna justify the realities. And there are disparities. There's still imbalances in the world. And I'm gonna tell y'all something about this. As much as I am an optimist in this world, there's always gonna be light and dark. I always say there's only two races in this world, truly. There's the lovers, the givers, the ones who's building, the ones who wouldn't have anything to do with taking, hurting another human. And then there's the haters, the killers, the ones who are taking life, the ones who are suffering within themselves. who are unconscious, who has forgotten who they are. Their lights are turned off from the aspect of God that they are. And so they pillage this earth instead of walk upon it sacred and honoring the humans that are on it. Two races. And within those races, those two dynamics that I just shared with you, there's every race living in those two frequencies. Okay? And so it's just really important to me, right? This is part of my passion and what I've lived of transforming my life in such a powerful way and having a spiritual core confidence, right? I'm not confused, you know, I'm not seeking. Okay, I'm sitting in my seat of power. And I can be active in these conversations and still know who I am. I can see things go down and still know that I'm going to uplift and build in this lifetime. And I'm going to take millions of people with me on that journey of expanding and uplifting. Because when I think about the disparities in this world, it's this information that I feel the hugest disparities are in, right? I'm always the only Black person in these high-end retreats, leadership coaches, anything that has to do with wellness, consciousness, right? Anything that has to do with truly elevating the mind and the spirit. Why is that? That's another video too. But my point to that is, may that energy of anything that's going to uplift your life be a part of your life. May you move beyond barriers and the identity that you've not set for yourself, that were fed to you, right? Who we are as Black people, they're telling us, they're narrating our lives, telling us who we are. This is how you like to dance, speak, and be. Maybe some of that, but most of it is exploited. I know I'm a Black person, like half the stuff they say about Black, I'm like, okay, no, my house didn't get shot up. I grew up just like you. I watched the Cosby Show. I went to sleep. I woke up and went to school. Okay. Yeah. Right. But the program is so deep that we're all stuck in this avatar of what Black America is and what white America is. You know, I have a whole conversation on that I'm going to share with you about white America in itself is under illusion of who they think they are, or who you think you are. Right. They've told you you're perfect, be quiet, don't tell the truth, hide it in the closet. All right, I know that because I live this life. I have friends, close friends, my sisters who happen to be white, right? I see now so much deeper, y'all, this is so deep, about how diverse my life is, and that I come to do this work about justice from within, right? To teach consciousness, right? Which I know is the most powerful game changer in this racism and social injustice, social transformation conversation. And I've gotten to see so deeply into both worlds. And it's still just my view, which is small, you know, in comparison to this entire world. But it's given me such deep insight of how these systems has created these avatars and these narratives. And we've yet to pop out of them. You know, we're emerging now, but these are powerful. So no, I know there's institutional racism in this world. There's disparities in this world. There's light and darkness. There's darkness as well in this world. And I also know that I am privileged. I know that I can be, do, and have whatever I desire. I don't have to ask a man, a person outside of me for anything. And let me tell y'all this, technology has shifted everything. What our ancestors, what this world could not even dream and fathom of is right at your fingertips right now. I clicked on this guy's YouTube. There's a transgender Asian guy. You know, he's like a larger person, queen size. And I thought about this person would have killed himself 20 years ago. But I think he had like, I don't know, like 4-point-something million people subscribe to his channel, built his own community. And that is the freedom that's here now. This is the new earth, the new day, right? And it's time to bring the racism conversation into the new light that our ancestors have suffered. And so we don't have to. I will not. In honor to my ancestors, I will have peace no matter what's going down in my life. And there's ups and downs, there's pressures. I'm living, I'm humaning. I'm humaning like anybody else, right? But what I want people to have is how I know through every moment that I am good and that I'm resilient and powerful and I am loved and I am loved. And I will never give this world any resentment or any hate. I will never let anybody live in my body and my heart that way. Never give my power away to darkness and unconsciousness. And I say to Black people, I know it's a big ask, it's huge, to come to know yourself after everything that has been done. And don't think that I'm not hurt by those things. I was just looking at Fred Hammond, the guy who spearheaded the unity allegiance between white, Puerto Ricans, and Black people in the Black Panthers. I don't know if you know about him. Look him up, Fred Hampton. But of course, they killed him. And I hurt when I read, I think that it's a new movie coming out, The Black Messiah. Y'all may be already up on this if you're not, look into it. And it hurts. I'm like, wow, you know, how the government, how so many people just assassinated people with no repercussions. Yeah, that's painful. You know, and I sat there, I was like, and Fred Hampton would say, I didn't even know I would share this with you all. Fred Hampton would always say, as I watched his speeches, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. And so he means the consciousness will always live within the hearts of all beautiful human beings, of all skin colors. It's up to us to rise. It's up to us to see when we're playing those games, when they're catching us. This system, I'm telling you, y'all, they get deep in the grooves and play on our emotions and keep us separate and keep us recycling this old energy. Black America, you are not vulnerable. You are not underprivileged. You can get up. You are beyond powerful. And not just because you had to be strong, it's just something within us. Come on now, right? Let's honor that, own that. And if we were fighting for anything, it's our minds. It's your consciousness, your vibration, your frequency is your bounty, the most powerful players you have in your toolbox. And if you are out here in struggle consciousness, out here fighting, if you are out here thinking that you are not worth anything, that somebody is going to continue to keep you down, you are playing into an old cycle, and it's time to move, rise, and transcend. I love you dearly, and I will see you soon.